Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gamedec, Blind. Now I've been summoned to this office to answer the call of this guy, who's called Jeffrey Haggis. I noticed the gold frame as soon as I entered the room. Contemplate the painting. A painting of Jeffrey Haggis. Oh, the directors and their inflated egos. But why was it hanging in the hall? A receptionist in love? Or maybe it was just corporate policy. Inspect the frame. It looked like a gold, but I wasn't certain. It was easy enough to check. Scratch it. No, that's petty. Let it go. I thought it might be classified as property damage. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't have time for artistic elation. That's another thing. He would probably mind. Although, he would also probably mind if I messed with his lobby computer, but I will. The computer on the desk was not secured. The empty workspace exuded corporate solitude. The nameplate on the desk read Junior Customer Support Specialist, Idris Ikari. Look at the monitors. The screensaver slideshow changed between landscapes beyond the ABBs and the towers of Warsaw City. Breaking the sequence, an image of two women embracing appeared on one of the monitors. One of them had blue hair. Can I log in? I barely touched the screen and gained access to the desktop. It wasn't locked. There was an open BWI presentation and an unfinished Hand of Solitaire. I am not going to finish the Hand of Solitaire because obviously that would be a surefire way of leaving a trace that someone touched the computer, but I will browse the presentation and maybe I'll learn something about the company. I saw 3D blue whales flying through the clouds, the company's logo. The animated slides presented financial results for the last quarter. I copied the presentation to take a look at it later. There was nothing more to see. Is there nothing more to see? Well, I guess there isn't. Okay, let's get inside then.
You're here. Good.
The man took a deep breath and let the air out through his nose with a loud wheeze. Dialogue tags. Icons tags appear on the left. Mark dialogue branches that you have unlocked by your previous decisions. Other players may see something different or nothing at all. Okay, so this is previous knowledge, past actions, relationships. Branch can be also unlocked by your background or profession. He took a good look at me. You're here? Good. Well, he doesn't. He was very sort of abrasive. He didn't really care about like the fluff of the conversation. So take the initiative. Just talk about business. Mr. Haggis, I'm a Gamedec and... Yes, I know, wonderful. Something's wrong with my son. He's not getting off the couch and, well, you'll see for yourself. It's been over 4 days. He entered some game with his friend, Timmy. I've tried talking to Timmy, but he's all clammed up. His condition makes me worry even more. My son is on the couch in the next room. Let's go there now. Here he is. Find out what's going on with him and how he can be helped. Haggis' son was wearing an expensive brand-name suit and a state-of-the-art helmet covered parts of his face. The couch side panel warned that he has exceeded the online time limit. I couldn't help noticing that the genital area of his gaming suit was bulging. Oh, so he has an erection then. Okay. Well, let's just look at everything, I guess. Starting by the log, maybe? Check the couch. The couch side panel... okay, that repeats what was already said. The 11 bits discretion and comfort couch reeked of luxury and unattainability. The system masked the player's login information. Well, can they do anything more? The small screen displayed Fredo's vital signs, pulse, muscle tension, and brain activity. Excess cortisol production. EKG jumping like crazy. The system struggled with stress reduction. Fredo was on a... Sometimes you will gain information directly pertaining to the deduction process necessary for solving the case. Fredo was on the verge of exhaustion, but at the same time very sexually aroused. Haggis cleared his throat impatiently. I welcome your conclusions when you're ready. Well, I need to take a look at everything before I form a conclusion. So, examine the suit. The suit was equipped with an advanced anti-bed sore software. It resembled the skin of a slithering snake. Check the material. The nanofiber material was adjusted to fit the muscles. It provided stimulation and protected the user from dystrophy. I ran my fingers over the suit's surface. The synthetic fibers emitted more heat in places where they needed to work harder. Look at the helmet. I leaned over to get a better look. Check the helmet number. To get the look at the number, I need to lift the boy's head. Sure. I gently grabbed his head and tried to turn it a little. Fredo moaned. Careful, you're hurting him. Well, I'll explain why that might be important. Relax, he'll be fine. I've done it 100 times, trust me. He clenched his jaw as if restraining himself from cursing. Do what you must. I turned his head to access the helmet's technical data panel. The boy exhaled heavily. I took a good look at the panel and scanned the helmet's serial number. Any conclusions? I'm starting to lose my patience. Well, I guess I'll use my medical knowledge, because I wanted to take a look at him as well. That's probably the most important thing, but I can't, so I'll use this. Mr. Haggis, Fredo's life is not in danger. He's properly devitalized and fine from a medical standpoint. He's been logged in for over 4 days, but there are no signs of adverse effects from the session. This is some excellent equipment. However, Fredo is unnaturally excited. If this state continues, it might lead to unpleasant consequences. We need to hurry. Doing a hard extraction by taking off the helmet is a huge risk, and logging out remotely, it's impossible, I know. Like in most systems, can you at least tell me where he's logged into? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to determine that. I need to find out which game Fredo logged into and take appropriate steps. I understand. Fredo entered the game with his friend, Timmy. He's a spineless pushover, but that might be for the best. He's waiting in my office. Maybe he can tell us something. You better hurry though, as someone is on the way to pick him up. Codex is a popular Gamedec tool, contains important information. I will do a separate episode at some point, just reading the Codex, because it has a ton of entries. He looked at me, then at his son, and sighed. Alright, get to work. Well, can I still look at him? Yeah, examine Fredo. Well, I guess I can check if he's faking. I doubt it, but you know. I grabbed his shoulders and shook him a few times. No muscle tension, he wasn't faking. The quiet sound of the suit's messaging devices grew louder as the supporters brought his body back to the optimal position. Examine his face. I leaned over and looked under the visor of the helmet. No signs of an extended online stay. Expensive supplements did the trick. I noticed a healing bruise on his jaw under his ear. There was some discoloration, the signs of scar-stop overuse. As a doctor, I had seen it many times. Either he got into some strange ear-pulling fights, or was victim of domestic abuse. Okay. Touch his hand. I took his hand. It was slightly trembling, but with normal temperature. This happens in games that generate a lot of adrenaline. His fingertips were covered with sweat. No, not sweat. I rubbed the sticky substance between my fingers and sniffed. Berries and chewing gum. What? Is that implying it's... Is that semen? Like, because I've read that supposedly by eating certain kinds of foods, you can change the taste of your semen to like it being sweeter or whatever. And surely in this universe, you can probably literally flavor it. So is that what this is implying? I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, there is the raging erection, so whatever he was doing probably had something to do with sex. Can I do anything more with the helmet? Check the screen. The visor screen had no info on Fredo's virtual location, an intentional safeguard. The helmet didn't have an observer port either. There was no way to see what he was playing. Okay, I will go talk to the guy. There is also this woman here, which is interesting. But the guy, Timmy, is supposedly going to leave soon, so I should probably talk to him before he does that.
Are you going to question me?
Some dialogue requires more effort. The blue bar represents the emotional state of a person. Your choices influence that state. If the conversation bar reaches a lock, additional information or dialogue options will be unlocked. Hover over a lock to learn a bit more. The kid looked around with terror in his eyes. When I approached him, he trembled. Are you going to question me? Calm down, we're just going to talk. Questioning is better left to police. I'm here to help Mr. Haggis' son, so let's just talk, alright? Alright, I want to help too. He nodded vigorously. Tell me what happened. It was Fredo's 16th birthday, and we were inside an adult game. He turned red and stared intently at his shoes. What do you want to know? Before I talk to him about what happened, I might try a bit of like small talk, get to know him, sort of make him feel more comfortable with me. So talk about Timmy. Let's focus on you. No, I can utilize my medical knowledge. The boy is a mess. Do something about it. He was tired and confused. I wonder which medication would be best for him, and gave him something for his anxiety or for his... This is very ethically suspect. You're like, this is super illegal for medical professionals, and also even outside of the law, it's just straight up a scummy thing to do, to drug people sort of without their consent or even their knowledge. Because it's not like I offered him, it's not like I said I could give you something to help you calm down. I'm just going to drug him because it's going to make my job easier. But I guess given between those two, I would give him something for his anxiety, his tense. Timmy, take this. It will help you come to your senses. He loosened up. He was now seeing a friendlier reality. Alright, I believe you want to help. It was Fredo's birthday. Did I already mention that? I'm not sure. So we logged into Paradise Beach. It's a place where adults get together there. You can read all about it in the description. He turned red, like my grandma's geraniums. Okay, let's talk about you a little more. What games do you like? Whatever Fredo plays, space sims like Dream Space or Dying Stars, shooters too, Crying Guns is our favorite. He loosened up, he likes talking about games. I believe you, I really do, and I want to help, it's just I can't quite remember. I don't know what actually happened. He had trouble putting sentences together and remembering events. It wasn't just shock. Something had really disturbed his nervous system. Your nervous system is overloaded, but it will regenerate. It will pass. Just breathe. Well, why did you log off without him, I guess? Although, first, let's talk some more about games. He likes doing that. Ask about Virtualium. Tell me... how many worlds did you play in? You celebrated Fredo's birthday in just one Virtualium? Yeah, but we did some pre-gaming here first. We kind of overdid it. Fredo had trouble putting on his suit. He realized that he has said too much. And stopped. Yeah, so... pre-gaming? Like, I assume it was some kind of an erotic activity. Because they also went... It's clear they were sort of... they are romantically involved in some way. Because they went into a game that's basically for dating. So... show understanding. I know how things are, Timmy. When I was your age, I also went to parties and drank booze. Booze is for old or the poor. Fredo and I have better stuff. But the girl Fredo brought had booze. She said that it was included. You seem alright. I'll tell you what Fredo looks like in the game. He bought us both skins, and mine was almost as cool as his. Old man Haggis doesn't know. We used an agent and covered our tracks so that no one would find that we were going into adult-only world. Okay, something more about games, maybe? Why Paradise Beach? Why did you choose Paradise Beach? Well, to have some fun. Help him choose his words. People normally log into Paradise Beach to pick someone up, flirt a bit, or go to bed with someone. Is that what you were looking for? That's a bit of a blunt way of putting that, to be honest. He started daydreaming. Yeah. Fredo says that you need to have an instinct, and we have it. We were godlike. Because we always know how to handle girls. He had no idea how to handle girls or game decks. I knew he was lying. He seemed to be gaining courage. What do you need to become a game deck? Okay, so maybe they aren't romantically involved. Maybe I misread it. Maybe they aren't romantically involved with each other. They were just friends that went basically. They went to pick up girls together, and I guess the sort of the stuff between Fredo's fingers might be from him touching himself. If I'm even reading it correctly, because to be honest, I'm not sure. What do you need to become a game deck? Admit it's easy. Well, I'll tell him he's got a shot at it. So you want to be a game deck, Timmy? I'm sure you could handle it. He smiled with disbelief. So what exactly were you doing in there? What were you doing inside the game? Well, what you normally do in an adult game. Well, fair enough. Anything else? What else? You were gone for a few days. We spent some time in a theater-turned-club. We had some drinks. It seemed he spoke more easily when I wasn't asking about erotic matters. He was no longer terrified and just waited for a next question. So... Yeah, I guess I could get him to talk about him sort of more generally at first. And tell me something about Fredo, anything you want. He's my buddy, same school and stuff. Once this kid Alex called me names, so Fredo flushed his walktail down the toilet. He smiled at the memory. Then he altered the hollows in the school gallery to give Alex a pig's snout that constantly oozed this disgusting mucus. Fredo's brilliant. I trust you, so I'll tell you the truth. Please, just don't tell Mr. Haggis. We went inside Twisted and Perverted. It's a world where people hurt each other for pleasure. It's horrible, and Fredo is still in there. Please find him. Hurry. Thank you, Timmy. You've been a great help. Yeah, so basically, whereas Paradise Beach is your sort of idyllic sort of, right and proper date setting, Twisted and Perverted is it's basically, as the name implies, it's very sort of gritty, and it caters to people who want to do things like, rape fantasies or actual simulated sexual violence. In fact, in the book, it goes into, and maybe it will go into that here as well, you actually, because it's a game still, so there are objectives and there are quests to do, and you get specific bonus points if you kill someone while having sex with them. The more fucked up the scenario is, the more awarded, the more rewarded you are for engaging with it. Okay, I guess that's it for him, but is there anything else interesting here? A harp. For ages, the instrument has attracted both artists and common mortals. Made of authentic exotic wood, richly encrusted with ivory, the pedals were probably gold-plated. Expensive stuff. It was definitely not for use. It was supposed to look good and serve as an indicator of the owner's status. Oh, a sticky stain. The floor was sticky in that spot. The stain was light blue. Berries and chewing gum. A barely noticeable trace of liquor. Well, I'm not going to taste something off the floor. But I guess that's whatever... So I guess it is probably not semen. Unless I'm misunderstanding something very hard. A panda. The animal looked as if it was frozen in time. Submerged in a transparent resin substance, the panda seemed alive. I noticed a panel with a single red button at the base of the display. A knock on the glass. I knocked softly. I felt like the animal glanced at me. The hidden anti-G mechanism buzzed as it moved the polymer resin blocks apart. If a bear could talk, I thought he'd have some interesting stories to share. The split blocks revealed the creature's intestines, where there was still some digested food left. It seemed like the organs moved slightly in a barely visible contraction. Or maybe it was just the light. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's better if it's just the light, because if you're trying to tell me that this creature is somehow alive, that's some body horror stuff right there. A piece of the floor stood out from the rest. There was no chance of a flaw in the design, not in a building like this. It looked like a hatch. It was a good place for a safe. I'm not going to open it. There are probably cameras in here. I returned to the investigation. Although, Infolio file. All open to the BWI homepage. The article was about Pygmalion, the flagship BWI product. It allowed you to create living human psyches. I copied the rest to the codex to get back to it when I had more time. A stream of stock market quotations appeared on the screen. The hardware was high-end, just like everything else in the room. The system access was blocked, but I was convinced I could log in if I tried. There had to be a hardware that was monitoring Fredo's couch. Well, it's probably best if I ask Mr. Haggis himself, like try to convince him that I need access for the case. But before I do that, Fredo's clothes. The civilian clothing was hanging in the closet. It's good to take it off and change into a suit before going online. The clothes looked like they had no pockets. I was hoping to find a Wachtel or an Omnic, but there was nothing there. Well, I should probably check her out as well. Oh, Timmy's clothes as well. They looked like Timmy's clothes. He hadn't changed. I found a Wachtel in his pocket pants. Show me your Wachtel and I'll tell you who you are. Well, you're about to find out. Check received messages. In the last message, Fredo said that his 16th birthday was coming up, and he was trying to convince Timmy to play an adult game. Twisted and Perverted was definitely an adult game. It could have been the right track. Check the sent messages. It's funny how a few messages can tell you a lot about someone. The kid seemed oversensitive. One of the letters to Fredo was a deeply bitter complaint about the promise the young Haggis had broken. It looked like his friend must have taken advantage of his trust on more than one occasion. Okay, can I say anything more to Timmy?
Tim's father has arrived.
I sincerely apologize, but I was told to take the boy Timmy home. The new mobile is waiting. Thank you. I hope you can help Fredo. Bye, Timmy. Hang tough. Hang tough? Isn't this hang tight? Well, I guess I can't talk to him anymore. I've extracted whatever information I needed out of him anyway. But before I talk to Mr. Haggis, I want to check this girl. There was a rather provocatively dressed 20-something woman on the couch. The device's panel was flashing warnings. Ask Haggis about her. Who is she? I don't know. Timmy was babbling something about her being in the game with them. Check the panel. She has exceeded the safety limit for logged-in time over 4 days without a suit. She must have taken a game pill, or her bladder wouldn't have held out. She started revitalization, but something interrupted the process. Even though she couldn't control her body, I thought she could hear me. Her helmet has an external monitoring port. I could connect to it and see what happened. First, let's take a closer look at her. She must have been planning a short session, since she didn't put on a suit. And the front of her body was cold, and the back was overheated. She didn't have any bed sores yet. She looked like one of the women I had seen on the computer screen in the hall. Is that your assistant? She's just some random lowlife. Leave her alone and get back to my son. Haggis' face swelled up with anger. She may have some crucial information. Alright, just hurry up. Hey lady, can you hear me? She didn't answer and she didn't move. Either she wouldn't talk or couldn't. I was betting on the latter. Is the same thing happening to Fredo? I don't know yet. Okay, I'll try connecting. Haggis noticed what I was doing. The observer port. I see you're prepared. When I connected to her helmet, the image was transmitted to my lenses. The girl drifted in an undefined space. It wasn't the network menu or any of the games I knew. Hello, I'm a Gamedec. I was hired by Mr. Haggis. I connected to your helmet. You can talk, and I'll hear you on my walktail. According to the login, your name is Starlet. Is that right?
A Gamedec. That's great. Yeah, I'm Starlet. I can't seem to log out.
Let me try and help you. A progress bar appeared in your quest log. It's influenced by your decisions and dialogue choices. Remember that maxing it out can prompt a negative or a positive outcome, depending on the situation. Well, first analyze the problem. Interrupted revitalization is rare. I could have pulled off her helmet, but that might have ended badly. There was a safer solution. Revitalization is like waking someone up. The senses are activated in a specific order. Hearing is usually first. Starlet's was already working. Then comes prior perception, deep feeling, the ability to sense the positioning of one's body, then the sense of balance. Taste and smell are activated almost simultaneously, followed by touch. Vision comes last. So what was it? So the positioning of one's body, then balance, then taste and smell, and then vision. Okay, Starlet, I think I know how to wake you up. Wait, I hear laughter. What's happening? My deck detected the girl's helmet being bombarded with exabytes of data. Someone wanted to overload and terminate her connection. Starlet, someone is trying to stop us from talking or probe me. And damn it, what are you going to do? The attack was intensifying. I didn't have much time. Well, I can put up a firewall. I'll activate some barriers to block the signal, but it's only a matter of time before they crack. It was possible to use jamming batteries to stop the attack, or much weaker reflection barriers to track the attack's source. I think jamming is more important right now. I activated the barriers, but I didn't know how long they would hold. I put up some barriers. It bought us some time. Great, it's about time we get out of here. Okay, let's try it then. We don't have much time. I'm going to try and get you out of here. Finally. Awaken her by stimulating her senses. The correct order was the key. The revitalization bar has stopped on stimulating prior perception. It seemed right to start with that. I'm going to try finishing your revitalization. I'm going to need to touch your body. Is that okay? Do whatever is necessary. Well, the position of one's body, so moving just her arm probably wouldn't work. It's probably more like shaking her entire body. I felt her shoulders in realio and shook her, gently at first, then more firmly. No effect. Finally I lifted her slightly off the couch. The revitalization bar moved forward. Prior perception complete. A good start, but the screen didn't display the next stage. Then it was the sense of balance. I decided to stimulate her inner ear, her sense of balance. How would you... I guess I should be more gentle. Let's try raising her head. I gently raised the girl's head. Oh, something's happening. I feel dizzy. That means your inner ear has been stimulated. I can stimulate another sense. Smell and touch were... Smell, I think, was first. It was time for the sense of smell. I knew it was connected with taste. I hesitated. Give her a piece of mint gum. I dug into my pocket for a piece of mint gum and carefully slid it under Starlet's helmet. Hey, I smelled something strange, and now I have this weird taste in my mouth. That means we're on the right track. The attack was getting stronger. Well, finish the revitalization. Stimulate the sense of touch. I took Starlet's hand and squeezed it. I can feel your hand, finally. Now comes vision. The hacker broke through. We only had time for one action. I am about to take your helmet off. It should stimulate your vision and motor functions. I gently slid the helmet off her head. Finally, thank you. These words don't come through the walktail, but directly from her lips. I was about to terminate the connection when I saw a message. Gamedec, whoever brought you into this game doesn't understand its rules. Go home and go to sleep. It's for your own good. Don't get involved. The attack ended and I got disconnected. Well, you actually impressed me. Can you wake up my son now? I'll do whatever I can, Mr. Haggis. Well, first I'll talk with her because she might know something. I wanted to concentrate on getting her out because obviously you can... at a certain point, if you get stuck in there, you can die. And also, there are specific games that are kind of on that tread the border of legality, but there are certain games in this universe that replicate pain in such a way that if you die in the game, you might actually die for real because your body thinks you're supposed to, even though you haven't taken any kind of outside trauma. So I just wanted to make sure that I save her. Tracking the hacker was of secondary importance to me. How are you feeling?
You pulled me back from that void. Thank you.
I lay without a suit for too long. I'm still a bit shaky, but my back is cooling and my stomach is warming up. The girl glanced at Haggis. You probably want to ask me some questions before I leave. Indeed. Well, what about Fredo's condition? Fredo can't seem to log out of the game. Do you know why? No, the boys were fine, and then I blacked out. I guess someone hacked me. Where were you logged into? Do you remember which world you and the boys entered? I took them to Twisted and Perverted. If only I knew how it would turn out. Ask about the liquor. I found signs of someone drinking alcohol here. Do you know anything about it? We drank that expensive sparkling wine before going online. The boys were celebrating a birthday, that's all. Do you know Idris? I saw your picture on her computer. The girl looked at Haggis again, then into my eyes, and nodded slightly. Out loud she said, I have no idea who you're talking about. That is all, thank you. You should get some rest. I overstayed my welcome. Drop by Yeti's coming in Low City sometime, and I'll buy you a drink. Oh, and Mr. Haggis? What do you want? The man looked at Starlet with disgust. Who do I bill for escort service, you or the company? He wanted to say something, but just stood there holding his breath, with his mouth tightly shut.
Fuck, how long do you expect me to wait?
He looked at me with disgust, as if to let me know that I was wasting his time. Well, first, I need access to your computer. He looked at me as if I suggested something absurd. This is how we'll do it. I'll pretend I didn't hear that, and won't call security, and you'll keep pretending to be a professional. If your son has been devitalized for a number of days, the effects might be severe. You need to let me try. He gave me a long, threatening stare from under the wrinkled brow. At last he answered, speaking slowly and enunciating each word. Axis Mundi, that is my password, and if there's ever a data leak, know that I will destroy you. Who has access to the room with the couches? My guests and I, but no one except Fredo uses them when I'm away. Or at least that's what I thought. He looked at the couch the woman was using. I saw your son's face. I noticed that he tends to abuse scars though. Perhaps he's young. I had a bruised face from time to time when I was his age too. What does it have to do with the case? I'm not about to suggest domestic violence yet, because obviously that's super antagonistic towards him. And maybe at the end, when I manage to save him, I will ask Fredo himself whether his father has been abusing him and maybe offer some help. But I'm not about to bring it up now, because all this is going to do, regardless of whether it's true or not, is just make Jeffrey angry. Ask about fights. You're suggesting that he gets into fights. Maybe Fredo got on the wrong side of the wrong person. Don't make me laugh. I've been trying to make a man out of him for years, but the kid's a wimp. He's nothing without my money. Okay, I will access his computer, but I will do it next time, because this episode has been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Apparently I must have misremembered something, because I'm looking at the timer now and I still have like 15 minutes, so that should be enough to check the computer. And the computer access was still blocked. Axis Mundi.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Hi, Honey Bunny. What can I do for you? She cut short mid-sentence and took a good look at me. Oh, you're not Honey Bunny. Did something happen? Is he alright? I mean, Jeffrey's alright. Excuse me, I haven't talked to other people in years. So, is he okay? Yeah, sure. Mr. Haggis' son is trapped in Virtualium. I am a Gamedec and I'm trying to get him out. I need access to the computer. So, Honey Bunny's fine and well. That's good. What was I... Oh yes, let me give you the tour. I have access to emails, reports, bills, and some other systems. What would you want to see? To be honest, probably shouldn't be browsing those other things. Especially because I'm pretty sure she will later tell him that she has done that. But I will. Let's look around. Fiscal reports. I'm afraid I can't give you access to such information. Honey Bunny would be upset. Sure, that is reasonable. Probably the same with emails, right? Oh, I can check Fredo's emails. Got anything on Fredo there? There's some correspondence between Timmy and Frederick. I'm sending it to your deck. It looks like Timmy doesn't like it when Fredo doesn't respond to his questions. Show me the most recent logins to this device. The last logged user was Fredo Haggis. I don't think I should go through his inbox, but what the hell. Oh, I'm going to blush. I don't think you want to see this. There are plenty of messages from that stripper, Starlet. Can you brief me on the conversation? Of course. What do we have here? Some rather indecent proposals of a show. The Starlet girl promised him both real and virtual sensations. She mentioned access to a game for the very adult. What about couch control? Show me Fredo's monitoring. Do you know where he's logged in? I'm afraid that data is encrypted. Honey Bunny made it so, but I can connect to the boy and describe what he's feeling right now. Alright, do it. I'm making the connection. I can't say I like the kid's thoughts. Huh. That's interesting that she has preference, because obviously at face value she's not a true AI. She's a virtual assistant, much as the one I have in my own apartment. I don't think she should voice her opinion, because those programs don't really have an opinion. Ask about her thought perception. You can see his thoughts? How? I feel them, taste them. It's hard to describe. I feel various sensations and emotions, but not necessarily the same way he does. It's hard to explain how I receive them. Synesthesia? I think that's what it's called. It's getting hot. He's very excited, far beyond the limits of red ecstasy. Focus on the ecstasy, describe it. Crimson, I love that color. All that red. Oh, that's, I think, enough. User logged in Fredo. Most recently user Timmy. Guest. What about you? Are you... Because. The Blue Whale Interactive, the company that he's the chairman of, they say they recently developed a technology to create true AI, you know, artificial people. So maybe she's one, and in which case it's pretty fucked up because she's essentially a slave, right? I want to get to know you better. She smiled and shyly lowered her head. I wonder, can you go outside the internal building network? Have you ever left this office? No, but I'm safe here. I have everything I need in my virtual apartment. I mean, sometimes the people I watch talk about different virtualia, and it does cross my mind that it might be nice to see them. But only when I'm extra bored, I swear. I would never leave my honey bunny. Don't tell him, okay? Did you know that Did you know that you look and have the same name as Haggis' reistic wife? Yes, Honey Bunny, I mean Joffrey, created me based on her personality from years ago when he was still developing the technology. But I don't think we are the same person. I mean, I never met her, but sometimes I watch her through the cameras. Cameras? Do you watch her through the cameras? Yes, I have access to the security center. Sometimes when I'm bored, I check to see what's going on. Oh, so what exactly are you? You're not just a regular program, are you? Oh no, I'm a diginet. I figured that you are a digital person. I guess you were probably made by Haggis' people. Okay, I can't release her because I don't have the necessary skill, but this is pretty fucked up, as I said, because I, personally, am one of those people who are not very hung up on the question whether AIs are people. I think at the point where you even have to ask, the answer is probably yes, and you should err on the side of caution and assume it is yes. Like, the fact that she's digital, it doesn't matter to me. Because once you cross the threshold of, you know, self-awareness and having your own unique ideas about the world and being able to react in a way that's unscripted, I think that is essentially, functionally, a person. So it seems wrong to me to keep her basically imprisoned on this computer as your personal assistant, especially because she's talking sort of longingly about this idea of visiting other games and, you know, other places, but she can't. I want to see the footage from the cameras. I can't show you. You're not a BW employee. Plus, it might not be good for Honey Bunny. It's for the kid's own good. The kid is pretty irritating, but we have nothing to do with each other, okay? I won't show you the recordings. Fair enough. To be honest, I already have the information I need. I'm just snooping about, because that's what you do in games. Can I afford any new professions? No. So, deductions. How to help Fredo? Each nodule is a question you're trying to answer. On the left side, you can see clues that you've gathered. Possible answers are listed to the right. Every decision in the deduction is binding and cannot be unmade. If you choose the option, let the father find his son in the game, you will in fact abandon this case. If you believe you have enough information, click and hold over the chosen answer. Oh, so I missed some clues there. Interesting. Fredo is acting as if he's experiencing endless erotic exultation. At the same time, he is showing signs of extreme exhaustion. Timmy suffered psychological trauma within the Virtualium. One should approach his testimony with caution. It seems Fredo and Timmy were into a game for players over the age of 16. Timmy and Fredo might have visited the Paradise Beach game, might have visited Twisted and Perverted. Yeah, obviously that's where they went, so Fredo might still be in Twisted and Perverted, an adult-only world that mixes sex with violence. I should look into this game. Fair enough.
Fuck, how long do you expect me to wait?
He repeatedly clenched and unclenched his fists, trying to control his emotions. Mr. Haggis, I've come to a decision about Fredo. About fucking time. Fredo might be inside the adult-only world Twisted and Perverted. You know, the one combining sex and violence. I should look for him there. That's what I was afraid of. Do your thing. The access fee for the Virtualium will be taken care of. All expenses are on me.
Fuck, how long do you expect me to wait?
Well, I still have the side quest of opening Haggis' safe, but to be honest, first of all, this seems like something you can't do without him noticing, and second, I'm not about to steal from the man. Sure, he's like abrasive and a bit of an ass, but that doesn't give me the right to rob him in broad daylight, so... Did the game save? Yeah, it didn't. That's the problem I have with this game, to be honest. Oh, I can search it? An 11-bit couch in full working order, the latest model, obviously. The casing was slightly loose. The side panel was loose. Someone forgot to tighten its screws. Okay, I'm not going to destroy it. So, enter Twisted and Perverted. Something bad had happened in TNP. Fredo must have been there, so I needed to go in. Each Virtualium has its own HUD, a status bar on the top of the screen. In TNP, the HUD shows the player's level, the experience points, slots for the owned objects, and a counter of kills and deaths. I have a gun as well. But did the game save? it did, which is a brilliant moment to finally end this episode then, if it did save. So, that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!